Hey guys, it's week 17 I believe, my little aquaponics project. It is Sunday again, getting into winter now, 15 degrees, but capsicum's still growing along happily. Sunflowers don't look so good though. It's been overcast and raining. I've unblocked the filter I found was blocked in the gutter to fill up my little reservoir here. And but still it's only been drizzling, so I haven't got that much water back into the system. Despite putting the nice solar system up, big thank you to Gregory Scott for that one, my friend that came around and helped me out. I put up this shelf here, and I've still got a little bit of float charge there. And despite the fact that I've got that set up and it's a 200 watt panel, I'm not getting enough power at the moment to run anything, so it's just displaying that it's trying to charge the batteries, if it'll focus. There you go. And the batteries stay empty at 12.3, and it's not enough to run any load at the moment, so a bit disappointing there. I put another inline filter in this week because I found that the DC pump was simply pushing water through this one with enough force to almost make it through a second one, so the air's just been stuck about here a lot of the time and isn't running into the system. And that DC pump blows the lid clean off this. I found this empty during the week, and all the water had just poured out all over the ground around here. So yeah, that pump is too powerful for just the one bucket because of all the media that it's filtering through. All the scoria is blocking up the bottom drain hole down here, which we can't see at the moment because there's so many things in the way. This is going to be an introduction bucket, which will have a small input on it like this, so I can slow dose in stuff. So I'm going to put in 2 more of these buckets, and a 4-way splitter and a 4-way joiner, and make it like a little lily pad of media filtration going back into this drain, I should say watering outlet. I really should put the AC pump back in at the moment, but I don't. The dog chewed the end of the pump up. Very annoying. I have to get a new end for the pump at the moment. So these guys haven't had any water this morning, which is a bit annoying. I'm going to have to manually water them, I think. I put a stop valve in here to stop, or I should say a tap in here, so that I can turn off the water going straight back down to and it fills up these just with pressure, and there's not enough. I found that there's not actually enough room on this bell siphon, so I took this off because it was just flooding out the tubs. So when that pump is running, it has far too much power, and I've put in that tap to put some back pressure on. That air stone is now working really well now. It's got a good saturation. And the water's a bit murky at the moment just because I can't pump it through the clarifier still. Oh, I can't see any happy fish, but they're in there still. Still got my huge snails growing away in there. Oh, focus, come on. Come on, Google. Your software can drive your phones better than this, I know it. Disappointing. Latest updates on the phone. Yeah, giant snails are still quite happy. Giant airstone still cranking out. Yeah, so my updates for this week, my happy news. I'll just take off my highly sophisticated, it's one of these ones, holding system here. Whoop, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh dear. I have some, I should light them up here, zebra finches in this little tank. I got an extension. Oh dear. No. And this little thing here is running a air stone in it, rather large 50mm air stone, which is sitting here inside this 40mm to 50mm reduction, and the water in there is not so bad. You're bubbling away now. I'll see if I can get a zoom in on the... Wow. It's really hard to see in there. But there are actually zebra finches that spend most of their time hiding under that little bridge. There we are. There's one. Zebra fish. Not finches. Zebra dinios, I think they're called. Really big contributors to scientific research. Yeah, I'm a bit concerned about how dirty the water's getting. And I have some white dinios, whatever you call them as well. Oh, there they are. Hiding under their little bridge under there. I suppose naturally, because they're vegetarians, they get picked on by the other fish, bottom of the food chain and all. So this little swirl filter I've had running, it didn't do anything. Just nothing. So, oh, really? That side, okay. Yeah, this thing didn't do anything, so I've got this, has been pumping out. You can see if I can get a good view in there of the foam. Behind the camera. No. Can you sort of see a little bit in there? There we go. Yeah, so all that foam bubbles up inside and has been dripping into this bucket. Some real nasty stuff coming out of the water there. That's just all the unused nutrient that the plants aren't eating at the moment. Because it's getting cold, the fish are going dormant, they're going to sleep, which is good, they're not eating as much. But at the same time, the plants need more nutrients. Oh, I put it over here. Yeah, so I'll put that back in the middle of the shed here. So, rather bad timing. But, yeah, and I'm back on AC power. See if I can hook this straight up here. I just push these in here temporarily because the pump is too powerful. I don't have a switch put on yet, I don't have a regulator put on yet. So I just literally poke these wires in. No juice. It's just not enough sun. This week, this will be an extension. These doors will be taken off. Wrong side of the camera. So this cage here, which we had our puppies and rabbit in, will be going. You can see I've dug out a large chunk. This will be all concrete, and the shed will be extended this way with the greenhouse towards the gate. There'll be another gate on this side for firewood. This shrub here is going. The dog still keeps coming in here. I don't want to dig where the dog's been doing her business, so I've been trying to keep her out. Big pile of dirt left to go. So this is going in a couple of hours. I'll finish digging out here. This will all be concreted and there'll be an extension, another greenhouse on. All my seeds turned up for the most of my fruit and veg, so I should be growing a much bigger variety soon. I keep them all in 2 bits of paper there, and yeah, still composting in this one. And I put a couple of T-pieces off this one straight to the back fish tank, and this one has a second tap down here, so I can turn that one, regulate, you know, water going into the tanks here. The second one here will be going to the second tank, which will be sitting here. Still have to weld up a frame, move all that firewood and all the stuff from the shed when I get a bit more room. I've got the windows done in the house, they're all finished. I'm getting the kitchen done next, so that's where all my money's going at the moment, what little we do have, and the son is due in 9 weeks, so soon I'll have nothing at all to spend, so that's why I'm putting whatever little spare funds I can put into this little cheap aquaponics project, and trying to grow my own fruit and veg so that we can be as self-sufficient and off-grid as possible, and survive on as little income, because we'll only have one income earner. So this sort of thing, you know, is becoming more and more important as things go on. If I'm trying to, you know, spend my money a little bit more on investments rather than just food and everyday living expenses, I want to be running on solar and wind for growing my own food and veg, as well as, you know, it's a fun little hobby to learn. I learned a lot about the fertilizers and what plants need to eat and everything else, you know, iron supplements, and they like sugar, helps them out a fair bit. It's like steroids for plants, makes the fish go hyperactive, and you see a whole lot of things there I've been learning and making my own nitrates out of vegetables and things like that, learning about that. So I've got this little hot plate thing sitting here. But yes, disappointing at the moment because there is absolutely no sun. I'm getting nothing, so I'm running off the 15 amp power lead, extension lead I'm trying to get away from. Eventually, again, these tanks sitting here looking messy with all the stuff on them, will be where the firewood is, looking great, full of axolotls and other breeds of fish. Will be where this firewood is now on that wall. So I'll have an extra shelf, a full extension out that way. Will be the greenhouse, lots more fruit and veg along that side, and I'm going to see if I can put something over the roof, maybe an entire second system on here for the second set of tanks on a separate pump, and on the peak of the shed, this side where I've put out my little extension, which I've got the wood on now. This little extension here, up here in this peak, I'm going to put a wind turbine if I can, or on the other side of the shed. I've got to put the gutters up still, sitting along here, which have to go along this outside section. So that all needs to go along, but slowly getting there. And yeah, a few more species of fish. Fair amount of work being put in, but disappointing results because of the weather, largely. And I think I need a lot more batteries, honestly, and a better charging source, and definitely a better solar controller. Anyway guys, I'll give everyone an update next week. Big thanks, big shout out and thank you to Wino Pets in Goulburn. And yeah, the bloke there is also into aquaculture, so I should be talking to him a lot more in future. And he has some videos on how to grow plants in a water garden, which I'll definitely be looking up after this. Have a good week guys.